decided that I wanted to put to the test a vintage self-care routine versus a modern self-care routine and then decide which one I like best.
Welcome to the 1940s self-care routine. In this routine, we're going to be using vintage products still made today and techniques that would enhance your beauty. And beauty was so important in this era that good grooming would be a subject taught at school, with face washing alone lasting an entire period. We're going to start by pinning our hair back with a towel and being careful not to lose any of our hair grips along the way.
I feel like I've just been cast as Mary in the school nativity.
And then a cold cream to remove makeup.
I don't know why people tap the products when they make videos like this. Just a bit of modern influence in a vintage routine, I suppose, but here we are. This is the first product. We're gonna put this baby to work. I am so ready to get all of this makeup off me. This feels so good. Circular motions. That is the recommendation. Just nice circular motions, being really gentle with the skin. No tugging, no pulling. Okay, Pons. I swear this works better than the cleansers I use normally, because that doesn't usually happen. So am I not usually getting all of the makeup off my face? Oh my gosh, I hope not. Never forget the neck. So that might look like most of the makeup is off my face, but it's probably not. So the next thing we're going to do is an ice bath for the face. And this was made very popular by Hollywood starlets like Joan Crawford. So I've got my big jug of ice water. My hands are so greasy. And I have my big bowl. So we're just gonna, go dive right in here. I need to pour this 1 second. Oh my gosh, okay. Oh, no, stop it. It's just water. This isn't working. I need to sort of do this from the top. I need to go over the bowl, I think. Just give me a sec. There we go. This will work. Oh, I don't know if my eyes. Couple more of those, I think. It's very refreshing. It's super refreshing for the skin. One more for luck. I can't believe I'm doing this on my mum's bed. She'll actually kill me. Okay. All right, that's enough of that. Oh, I got like all of my hair wet. I don't think that's the aim. I think my towel was slipping. Let me just... Then we're just gonna gently pat. Again, no furious tugging, just a nice pat down. You can see how much that has freshened up my skin just by how red it is. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but in the mirror it's quite red, but it feels great. Like, I love this one. Like, ice baths for the win. I'm not saying people don't do ice baths now, but I just think this is a great thing that I've learned through looking at, vintage self-care routines. I'd never done it before, and it's just a lovely refresher. Oh, for the face. And now I feel like all of the cosmetics are definitely off my skin now. Like, it feels way more fresh. So now we're going to go in with a moisturiser. Never forget the neck. Let me get that on a t-shirt. I think you're meant to do an upwards motion just to get that makeup off. Oh, it feels amazing. Oh, I feel alive. Another great thing with ice baths or facial ice baths, it really, really does like wake you up, like, for sure. So maybe in the morning you could start your day with one, and I think it would just make you feel a bit more alive. Even better than a coffee. And we're going to shoot for our trusty friend, Vaseline, to just set our eyebrows. Because God forbid we have unruly eyebrows as we slumber next to our, well, what more than likely would have been husband. If you've ever seen the comedy drama The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which I think is set in the 40s or 50s, please someone correct me. She does an entire makeup routine before her husband even wakes up to give this kind of illusion of feminine, womanly perfection. Now, I'm never going to be one of those women, but this was typical of most women. So clearly, unruly eyebrows was an imperfection too far. And then I'm going to curl my eyebrows because I just think they make them look more open and bright. And then I'm going to use Vaseline again to set them. Sorry if you're not good with eye things. I know it might seem a bit strange to curl your eyelashes before bed, but one of the things that I really like about the beauty era of the 30s, 40s, 50s, that alongside the untold struggle, it was quite a glamorous era for beauty. And the women really took pride in their appearance, even at bedtime. They held self-care in really high regard, as well as being intelligent, getting a good night's sleep, being a charming and approachable person. And this is just something that makes me feel a little bit more glamorous. It's just a little subtle thing that I like to do just to make my eyes look a bit more open, make me look a little bit more alive. Now we're gonna lose the school nativity look.
I forgot to say, Vaseline can also be used on your face to help reduce puffiness.
And you probably already know, but brushing your hair has always been a really big thing. I'm sure your grandma, if you had a relationship with your grandma, would always tell you to regularly brush your hair just to spread out all the natural oils. So we're going to give my hair a nice brush before we attempt to put in some pin curls, which I can never do. We're going to try. As you can see, I've already curled my hair last night, and some of the curls are still holding relatively nicely. So we're hopefully gonna have them last another day at least, because you know people didn't wash their hair quite as much as you know arguably we do now. So making curls last, you know, several days, I would say, and then when your hair was really on the edge, using a headscarf or a hat to hide it but still look stylish was very much the done thing. By using pin curls, which I can never do. We're going to be rolling the curls, hopefully. I can never do this though. But now what? You know what I mean? Now what? Rolling. Oh my gosh. Rolling. That might be the best pin curl I've ever done in my life.
If anybody who used to use pin curls regularly would just drop a comment and let me know what the technique was to roll it nicely to your head, I would really appreciate your guidance.
I bet you're laughing at me right now trying to do this. Just keep going. Trust the process. This is literally the best I've ever done. This is very difficult. Okay, I'm well aware that that is not perfect, but they are the most uniform and intact curls I've ever managed to achieve with the pin curl method. And what we're going to do is we're going to hide all of our mistakes anyway, because we're then going to add a silk headscarf just to keep everything in place. And silk was a great option because it would stop your hair from frizzing as well, which will hopefully mean that I'll wake up tomorrow with lovely luscious curls and, you know, smooth hair. Oh, you see already, none of my mistakes matter. Now that, perfect. Before I do any more of the self-care routine, I'm going to get changed, and I have a lovely cotton nightgown. Cotton, woolen, silk, they would have all been popular, the kind of things that your grandma or great grandma would have worn, and it would have been a nice long nightgown or a matching set of pajamas, usually accompanied by a robe. So I'm going to go put this on, if you would please excuse me. Judge all you want, but this is seriously the comfiest, most freeing night garment that like I own. It's like wearing a hug. It's just lovely, and obviously I've matched the blue, you know, just to keep the blue theme going. Don't sleep on a nightgown, if you know what I'm saying. Nightgowns, they need to come back, and I'm talking long nightgowns. I'm not talking, you know, figure-hugging, sexy nightgowns. I'm talking, you know, your grandmother's tablecloth kind of nightgowns, because these things are so comfortable. Okay, so if we're going to get completely unglamorous, but do a true vintage self-care routine, then we're going to need these bad boys. So these are Frownies facial patches. These are the kind that you can get today. But this facial patch brand has been going for a really, really long time. And again, Hollywood starlets, particularly Joan Crawford, who even wore them when she was playing a character in a film, would use facial patches. They're still a thing now. Like I think, I don't know if it's called facial patches or face tape. That's a trending thing now. But this was where it was at. They're kind of like these plaster-coloured patches, really. And they come in a long reel like this. They're quite expensive these days. I don't know what the price was, you know, back in the day. But this is basically the general thing. And what you do is you take a strip off, and then you can break this into 4 more strips that you can then place on your face wherever you're worried about getting wrinkles, if you are worried about something like that. You know, I don't think it's healthy to worry about getting smile lines from smiling or being happy. But, you know, staying young, appearing youthful, it's always been a worry, particularly with women. So you can break them up into smaller patches like that. And then you can put them wherever you want, which obviously, you know, if I was sleeping next to my husband, would certainly not be glamorous, but hey ho. And all you do is you have like a rough side, and then you have like a sticky shiny side. You have to wet the sticky shiny side with water, and then you just stick them on your face. And they really do stay on your face all night. Like I thought, they look like they're gonna fall off, but they don't. So it's nice and wet, and we're just gonna go right in the center of the forehead. You know, if you've got like frowny lines, you know, maybe you want to do it right there, so that as you sleep, you know, if you frown in your sleep and you know you don't know you're doing it, this would be a great option for you. And then what I tend to do is I kind of like use one, but I half it again, and you can use these for kind of near your eyes, for crow's feet. Oh no, my Frownies. So what do I think about the vintage self-care routine? I like it. I love the nightwear. I love the freshening your face with the ice bath thing. I love using really simple, affordable products like Vaseline. Cold cream is so good at getting makeup off. The things that I don't like as much is the pin curl method is kind of time consuming. It's still a heatless method, which I really like. It's definitely something that comes with practice, whereas I think more modern methods are a lot easier to master a lot faster. You done? The Frownies look silly, but you know, they do say even today, you know, go to bed ugly, wake up beautiful. And that's not just a modern day thing. It's simple, it's effective, and it stood the test of time. And I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
So this is the state of play straight after waking up. Everything is still in place. Not going to lie, sleeping in pin curls was not the one. I actually have a little bit of a headache, which, to be honest, I get headaches anyway, and I was kind of developing a headache yesterday because it was a stressful, busy day, but I don't think sleeping in the pin curls helped. Anyway, let's see if the Frownies have made any difference to my skin. So we're just gonna... It's very smooth. You can literally see the difference as to where the patch has been versus my normal skin. Like, it really flattens it down. Let's do my head. That'll probably be a better demonstration. It has definitely smoothed the areas where the patches have been. Obviously, I assume that would be temporary. But if you use them on a regular basis, my skin does feel more in place. I've got quite defined smile lines, and they feel almost unnoticeable. I like those. Again, they're not the comfiest things to sleep in, but they didn't come off. Moment of truth. We're going to see how my hair has held up overnight. Still pretty much in one piece. Oh, that feels so much better. The curls have definitely held overnight. A soft bristled brush would be best for this, but I don't have one. So we're just going to go in with this one. Just from the initial brush, I'm very happy with how these curls have turned out. You've got to remember, my hair's quite long, so I'm surprised that it's got quite a nice bounce to it and has held its shape so well. It's very vintage and classic. I know I haven't mastered the vintage hairstyle completely, but I do think this is still a very sweet look for any era that you're, you know, inspired by. Do I knock it down a point because of the pin curl method? No, I'm going to keep it as a 9 out of 10 because I really like the look that this has achieved, and if I mastered it, it'd be even better. And I don't think a modern routine would achieve the same vintage glamour that I'm after.
And that moves us on to the modern self-care routine, and for this we've changed location to my boyfriend's more modern style bedroom, and we're basically going to be using viral beauty products that have taken the internet by storm over the last few years. And rather than purely focusing on practicality and results, trending videos about self-care tend to be focused on aesthetics.
So to attempt a modern self-care routine, I've got a few little bits and bobs to help me along the way, but we're going to start with a classic cleansing balm to basically get off my makeup. So I've got this nice oat cleanser here, and then I've got a muslin cloth soaking in some water, and we're just going to get all of this off. It will never not feel good to remove makeup. So this is pretty dirty anyway. It has been washed, but it is pretty stained. But it's not as satisfying when you take your makeup off with this cleanser as it was with the Pond's Cold Cream, because that just showed me just how much makeup I was wearing. Whereas this is a bit more subtle. So my skin does feel like the cosmetics are well and truly off my face, but because this is a modern self-care routine, I'm going to treat myself by washing my hair. So I'm going to nip off and have a shower and then get changed into an adorable pyjama set. So I'll see you in a moment. Look how adorable these pajamas are. I'm sorry I'm talking quietly, but it's kind of late at the moment. I don't want to disturb the neighbours too much, even though I just had the hairdryer going. Oh, well, it was on a low setting. But yes, I feel much better after having a nice shower and washing my hair. But before we move on to the modern heatless curl method, we're going to do a bit of skincare. So we're going to use one of my cute little headbands just to keep everything out of the way. And I'm going to start with this Collagen Night Wrapping Mask, which I've literally never used before, but it says to apply evenly on cleansed skin, avoiding the eyes and lips, and then let it dry for 15 minutes before going to bed. Do you sleep in this? Oh, firm skin overnight. Okay, we're not going to use that yet. We're going to do a few other bits and bobs, and we'll come to that last. So the first thing we're going to use is this. So this is an LED light therapy mask that has mainly been trending on TikTok, and I don't entirely know what it's supposed to do, but apparently LED lighting has really good benefits for the skin, so we're just going to give it a try. Oh, because that's attractive. Apparently we just turn it on and then it does its thing and it times itself out, so let's give it a go. Ooh. Good lord. That is the most terrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh my gosh, it looks like I'm cooking under here. It's like a horror movie. Not really sure what to do now, because it's not even like you can read anything because the light is like so bright that maybe you just meant to close your eyes and just be in the moment. I'm just going to try that. Maybe I should meditate for, 10 minutes. Oh, I literally dozed off for a second there. I don't really know how that's made my skin feel. That was strange. I don't know if it's just the lights making me think that my skin is hot, but it felt kind of warm at one stage. But I mean, apparently there's benefits. So, and because the spectrum of skincare has become so advanced, I have picked just a few sort of nighttime products to try, just to represent how many more options we have in the modern day. So we've got hyaluronic acid facial serum, bioretinol eye serum, and we've got collagen face serum with Dead Sea minerals. I don't know if the tapping motion does anything, but you know, here we are. We're using a collagen mask later, I'm sure it won't matter. Okay, so we are now royally serumed up and we are looking quite dewy, which I'm not surprised about. And I forgot to say that in the shower, I also used a gentle face wash, which was just another part of the routine. And so now we're going to go in with our collagen night wrapping mask. Oh, but why? Well, it's like they don't want you to get in it. Oh, an applicator. It's like I'm a plasterer. Okay, so the collagen mask is on, and now we're going to move on to our hair with another heatless curling technique, but this time the modern version. And it's another thing that went viral on the Clock app, and that is this. This foam roller type thing is apparently a way that you can curl your hair overnight. And this is something my friend bought me, and it's Beetlejuice themed with 2 matching Beetlejuice bubbles. It also comes with a Beetlejuice hair clip, but that broke. So, no, that was terrible. Gross. So we're going to use this instead. Not entirely sure what the hair clip's for at this point, but I think it's to keep the foam roller in place whilst you twist your hair around. Anyway, we're going to find out. We're going to see. And you basically wrap it around the foam roller, taking a new strand of hair each time. Now realising I should not have put the collagen mask on before doing this. This is actually a bit more faffier than it looks. And then you use the Beetlejuice bubbles, or whatever hair bands you have to hand, to tie the hair in place. So that is basically the finished look, and if you're worried that pin curls weren't that attractive to go to bed in, I present you this. Obviously these won't give you like ringlety curls, I don't think. I think these are going to be a bit more modern style loose curls or waves, but I think I'm a bit worried that this is all going to come loose in the night. So what you can do is you can use hair grips to just add a bit of extra. Oh, this entire look is getting worse. Add a bit of extra grip. And then the last thing are these, which I have seen on pretty much most beauty videos out there today. Oh no, not this again. What an ordeal. I think these pretty much do a similar thing to the Frownies. They just keep, like, you know, you from maybe creasing too, I mean, you can see there creasing too much in the night. I'm not really sure. I mean, they might do other things, but I've got no idea. Jack, it is your lucky night. The thing about a modern self-care routine is obviously we've got a whole host more products available to us. Like, there's an entire range at our fingertips, and whilst that's great because, you know, with the development of science we probably know a lot more about skincare than we used to know, it can feel a little bit overcomplicated, and it was actually really, really thorough and quite long. Like the longest part of the vintage self-care routine was the pink hills. Everything else was pretty simple, whereas all of this, it seems a lot. And I know I've pretty much done every kind of modern beauty tip that you can possibly do, but some people's beauty regime is this complicated on a daily basis, because I see videos on that regularly. Plus, I don't think this is going to be very comfortable to sleep in. Probably a little bit more comfortable than the pink hills, because this is a lot more, you know, malleable, but this, not really. Obviously, we need to wake up in the morning and see what kind of transformation we've gone under. But at this present moment, I would be tempted to give the modern self-care routine a 7 out of 10. Anyway, I'm ready for bed. So for now, I will say nighty-night and I'll see you in the morning. So I've literally just woken up and everything is pretty much still in place, although this mask has kind of started to peel. So we're gonna remove that first and see if my skin is filled with collagen infused glowy goodness. Yeah, because it's so paper thin, it's actually quite difficult to tell when it's removed, and I also got some of it stuck in my hairline, which was incredibly irritating. And it took quite a while. I mean, I think there's literally still some there. It took quite a while to get all of that out. And as for how my skin looks, I mean, there's definitely like a bit of a dewy shine to my skin. It certainly feels tauter. It feels very, very smooth. I think the nicest thing is that kind of sheen that you get to your skin after using this. Like, I do feel very dewy and glowy. I'm not going to believe for one moment that this actually infuses collagen into the skin. I think it's more of a hydration mask, but if you want that glassy look, then yeah, it's a winner. These were not comfortable to sleep in because I basically could only lay flat, which isn't the worst thing. I hear Dita Von Teese only sleeps on her back because apparently it's better for, like, you know, your face and developing wrinkles, but it was kind of uncomfortable. Moment of truth. Gonna do the old, you know. Okay, I'm not mad at those, to be honest. I mean, they actually look really nice, really even. And to say my hair is literally not styled one bit, there has been absolutely no heat on my hair, no hairspray. I just threw my head forward and back again, and this was the result. I'm actually very impressed. Like, for convenience sake, this would be ideal. Thank you to my friend Julia for buying this for me, because this may have changed the game. So it is a beautiful day in sunny England, which is a sentence I don't get to say very often, and I just wanted to kind of recap on this challenge. As you can see, the curls from the foam rollers have pretty much all dropped out, and it's only been a couple of hours or so since I did them, so that's not great, but I did, in fairness, do it on freshly washed hair, which I don't think is recommended. Overall, I liked both routines, but the one that I'm leaning towards is the vintage routine. No surprises there. And that's because the vintage routine was just a lot less complicated and more simple, which I find more manageable to work into my daily routine. And although I liked a lot of the modern products, it felt like there were just a lot of steps. Plus, in the 1940s, they really did value and promote beauty also coming from within, which I think is a notion that we've somewhat been led astray from in the modern day world. So yeah, for this particular challenge, it's vintage for the win.